It was a Saturday afternoon when that random dude 123 sent out a tweet that most would consider a throwaway. He wasn't expecting a response, let alone a viral moment. Hey, at Elon Musk, can I get $1? Winking face with dung hashtag financial freedom. A casual jab, a bit of humor mixed with the absurdity of the times. Musk had just stirred up the internet with a post about financial freedom, sparking a mix of admiration and backlash. People were laughing, debating, some praising, others scolding. The tweet wasn't meant to be anything special, just another random comment on the chaotic Twitter landscape. But as hours passed, at random dude 123 started to feel the weight of his own joke. His phone buzzed every so often with notifications, but it wasn't what he expected. Few likes, some random replies. Maybe I should just delete it, he thought, checking the time. But then it came. A notification popped up. It was from Elon Musk himself. Why $1 and why me? The simplicity of the question sent chills down his spine. No typical like or retweet. This wasn't some generic answer. Musk had actually engaged. His first instinct was to laugh. Was it a joke? No way, Elon was serious. But the question felt different. It wasn't a troll. It was a challenge. Why not? The fan responded, playing it cool, trying to keep his tone light. Because $1 could change everything for someone. Even if it's just a random gesture. He waited, staring at his phone screen. No reply for several minutes. Then another notification popped up. Prove it, Musk's tweet was blunt. Do something impactful with $1, and I'll match it with $100. A gasp escaped his lips. This was no longer a joke. This was a challenge. The fan stared at the screen, his mind racing. Asterisk, wait, what? Did he just say $100? Asterisk. He couldn't back down now. But the pressure was on. He had to do something. Something big. Something that would make the $1 mean something. A plan started forming in his mind. A chaotic and messy idea. He had hours. Just a few hours. Minutes turned into hours. The fan's phone buzzed as he frantically researched charities and campaigns. His original plan had been thrown out the window. What was he even thinking? Asking Elon for $1. But now he had to deliver. The $100 on the table seemed too big to ignore. His eyes scanned the room. He grabbed his phone again, checked Musk's tweet once more. Prove it. The words burned in his mind. What could $1 do? And what if this really worked? Then it hit him. The fan started typing his next tweet. His fingers moved faster than his thoughts. He knew if he could get the internet behind him, even the smallest amount could snowball. He sent it out, ready for the storm that was about to hit. All right, everyone, I'm taking Musk's challenge. Let's raise $100 for local charity. Any amount helps, even $1. Musk said he'd match it if I prove it. Let's see if we can actually make something big happen. The tweet went live. He posted a link to the charity, explaining how Musk was now part of this bizarre challenge. Almost immediately, his notifications exploded. Retweets, likes, comments. His tweet had a life of its own. People were jumping in with their $1 donations, showing the world that small actions could make a big difference. $1 really could change things, he thought, as he watched the total climb. His heart raced. Minutes later, his phone buzzed again. It was Musk. I'm watching. How's it going? Musk's message was simple, but there was a hint of expectation. He stared at the phone for a few seconds. The pressure was suffocating. It was now or never. The fan didn't know what to expect from the next few hours. But as the donations kept pouring in, so did the media buzz. Was this some sort of grand marketing stunt by Musk? A publicity ploy to make him look like a hero? On Twitter, some people accused Musk of manipulating the situation for his own gain. Others applauded the fan for even attempting it. But in the back of his mind, the fan kept returning to Musk's words. Prove it. The donation link had soared past the initial $20 mark. It wasn't a huge amount, but it felt like a victory in itself. Then, Out of nowhere, a tweet from Musk appeared again. "I'm impressed. You're on track. But $1 isn't enough. Can you really make this count? Your $1 should inspire more than just a small donation. Make a real difference, and I'll do my part." There was no mistaking the challenge now. Musk had just raised the stakes. And in that moment, the fan realized this was bigger than just him. It wasn't about the money anymore. It was about the idea. Could he actually prove that small actions could spark something meaningful? The clock was ticking. The pressure was suffocating. Time was slipping away, and he needed to deliver. He looked at the growing amount in the donation pot, $42.20, and then back at Musk's tweet. "Prove it," he had said. It was no longer about just collecting small donations. It was about making the challenge real. Something that would catch fire. Something that would prove his $1 was a spark. A thought flashed in his mind. A social media campaign. He grabbed his phone and began crafting a post. The idea had to be simple and quick. People wouldn't donate if they felt the campaign was convoluted. He had to create something that made people feel empowered. Something small. He tweeted again. "All right, we're going bigger. Hashtag $1 challenge. Here's the plan. Donate just $1 to local charity to help fund basic needs. I'll be sharing everyone's donations, and we'll track how far this goes. Musk said he'll match it if we hit $100. Let's do this. Tag me with your donation receipt." Within moments, his notifications exploded again. The hashtag was already being used. Friends, strangers, even some influencers jumped in. The donations were trickling in, $1 here, $5 there, but it was picking up speed. The fan kept sharing updates, showing the community how the challenge was growing. Minutes turned to hours. He was now sitting at his computer, refreshing the donation page every couple of minutes. His goal wasn't just to hit $100. He needed to show Musk and the world that small contributions could snowball into something impactful. At the 2-hour mark, the total hit $75. People were engaging. The idea was working. But Musk still hadn't responded. Then, with just $10 left to reach the goal, the fan received a message. It was from a local influencer, someone with hundreds of thousands of followers. "Hey, I see what you're doing, and I love it. I'm in for $50. Let's break this thing wide open." Within an hour, the total hit $100. The fan was exhilarated but nervous. Asterisk, it's not over yet. I've got to make sure Musk sees this. Asterisk. As if on cue, Musk's tweet came through. "You've proven it. What's next?" By now, the campaign had gone far beyond the fans' original expectations. What started as a $1 request was now a full-fledged viral sensation. But with success came the scrutiny. Some Twitter users were applauding the initiative, calling it a perfect example of how small acts of kindness could create large-scale change. News outlets picked up the story, running headlines about the Musk fan who made the world better with just $1. People were tagging Musk's account, asking if the billionaire would live up to his word and match the $100 donation. Yet, not everyone saw it that way. A vocal segment of Musk's followers began to question whether the whole thing was a publicity stunt. Why did Musk have to get involved, they asked. Is this just a clever way to make him look good while someone else does the hard work? Some even accused Musk of exploiting the fans' charitable efforts to promote his own image. The phrase Musk marketing trended for a brief moment, with critics suggesting that Musk was using the campaign as a way to redirect attention from his more controversial projects. In contrast, there were plenty of supporters. A lot of people were genuinely excited that Musk had interacted with someone on such a personal level. It didn't feel like a PR move. It felt like a challenge. Some even believed Musk's involvement was part of a larger, unspoken experiment on the power of social media in driving social change. The debate raged on for hours. It wasn't just about $1 anymore. It was about Musk, the fan, and what this all meant in a world where wealth and generosity were constantly under scrutiny. But amid the chaos, something remarkable happened. The fan, noticing the debate, tweeted his thoughts. I don't know what Musk's real intention was, but this campaign is about you. The people who donated, the people who shared, the people who showed up. You made this happen. Whether Musk matches it or not doesn't matter. The world's a little better now. That's what counts. The tweet was shared widely, and for a brief moment, the public opinion began to shift. But then, the unexpected happened. It was late at night when Musk's tweet appeared. People had nearly forgotten about the challenge in the flurry of online debates. But then, like a thunderclap, his message cut through the noise. I've been watching. Good job, everyone. Sometimes the small things don't matter as much as the bigger picture. I've sent $10,000 to local charity. The response was instantaneous. The fan stared at his screen, slack-jawed. $10,000? His heart raced. Was this real? It was such a stark contrast to the small dollar challenge Musk had initiated. The money Musk pledged was more than enough to fund entire projects for the charity. Projects that had been stalled for months due to lack of funds. Within seconds, Musk's tweet was retweeted thousands of times. Some celebrated the billionaire's generosity, while others were still skeptical. Had he done it for PR? Or was it genuine? The fan's phone buzzed with messages. You did it, one friend wrote. Musk came through big time. This is crazy. Another message. Are you going to get your $100 too? The fan wasn't sure. But in that moment, none of it seemed to matter. Musk had done something unexpected. The challenge had turned into something real. He tweeted his thanks. Thank you, Elon. I didn't expect this, but you've made a real difference. This wasn't just about $1. It was about proving that even small gestures can have a big impact. I think we all learned something today. The replies poured in, some sarcastic, some sincere. But the fan didn't care anymore. The story had taken on a life of its own, and it was far bigger than just one person, one tweet, or one challenge. As he sat back, he couldn't help but smile. The world was watching now, and the ripple effect of something so simple was just beginning. The fan sat on his bed, scrolling through the endless replies to his tweet, his mind reeling. He had gone from a random Twitter user with a joke to the central figure in a viral storm. Musk had followed through on his promise, shocking everyone with the $10,000 donation. But even more than that, the campaign had taken on a life of its own. It had sparked debates, inspired others, and even changed the way people were thinking about generosity. It felt surreal. He'd woken up that morning expecting nothing more than a few laughs at his joke. Now he was sitting on the edge of something much bigger. He thought about Musk's original challenge. Asterisk, prove it. Asterisk, the words echoed in his mind. Did he prove it? Sure, the $100 goal had been met. But the $10,000 donation from Musk, now that it turned everything upside down, it wasn't just about the money. The fan hadn't expected any of this to blow up the way it had. All he wanted to do was show that small acts could make a difference. But now he realized that Musk had been right all along. The small things, like a $1 donation or a simple tweet, had created a massive ripple effect. But was it about Musk's generosity? Or was it about the power of collective action? Was this about Musk making a public spectacle of himself? Or was it a deeper commentary on how, in a world so obsessed with wealth, even the smallest gestures could shift perspectives? The fan thought back to all the messages he had received. Strangers, friends, influencers, all people who had decided to take part in something small but meaningful. The campaign had caught fire. It wasn't just about raising money for a local charity anymore. It was about starting a conversation about kindness, generosity, and the ripple effects of small actions. And then there were the media reactions. Some outlets had lauded Musk for his unexpected generosity. Others questioned his motives, calling it a carefully planned publicity stunt. But to the fan, none of it mattered. The real story wasn't about Musk. It was about how people had come together to do something that mattered. The fan tweeted again, this time reflecting on the whole experience. Never thought I'd be sitting here thinking about the power of a single dollar. and the power of people coming together for a cause. I didn't ask for this, but I'm glad it happened. Small actions, big impact. His followers responded with a wave of gratitude, agreeing with him. He'd started a movement, and he didn't even realize it. The campaign wasn't just about proving something to Musk. It was about proving something to the world. It was a reminder that anyone, anywhere, could make a difference, and that one small act of kindness could spiral into something much bigger. In the days following the challenge, something unexpected began to happen. What had started as a single tweet, something many thought would be forgotten in an hour, had morphed into a larger movement. It wasn't just about Musk anymore, or the fans' original $1 request. It was about creating a culture of small, meaningful acts of kindness in a world that often seemed obsessed with big gestures. Hashtags like #$1 challenge and #SmallActsBigChange exploded across social media platforms. People everywhere were jumping in, sharing their own charitable actions, no matter how small. It wasn't about how much money was being donated, but the intention behind it. Some donated $1 to local food banks. Others sent $5 to a woman's shelter. Some paid for someone's coffee or bus fare. The small acts of kindness began to pile up. They became a message that resonated deeply with people, especially at a time when societal divisions felt especially pronounced. Businesses and influencers jumped on the bandwagon, too. Some launched campaigns around the idea, pledging to match donations for various causes. Others organized online events where they asked their followers to contribute small amounts to a variety of initiatives. It was as if a switch had been flipped, and suddenly, people everywhere were rethinking the power of their individual actions. Even Musk, whose initial challenge had sparked the movement, weighed in again, tweeting, "Sometimes the small things are the big things. Keep pushing the limits. Keep proving that change starts with you." The fan had become somewhat of an influencer in his own right, though he never expected it. The $1 challenge had changed his life, just as it had changed the lives of others. He was approached by media outlets for interviews, asked to speak on podcasts, and even invited to help design a new social media campaign for a major charity. His inbox was full of messages from strangers who had participated in the challenge, thanking him for starting something that had reconnected them with the idea that they could make a difference. But it was the impact on the public mindset that stuck with him the most. People began thinking differently about generosity. They started seeing wealth not as a zero-sum game, but as a resource that could be shared, even in small ways. The #$1 challenge became a touchstone for a new kind of digital activism, one that didn't require millions of dollars or a large organization, just a single individual willing to take action. For the fan, it was a humbling experience. "It's funny," he tweeted, reflecting on everything that had happened. "I never thought one tweet could lead to something so big. But it didn't take a billionaire or a big corporation to make a change. It just took one person to believe that small acts of kindness could make the world better." The ripple effect was still spreading. People, companies, and entire communities were rethinking their role in creating positive change. Musk's initial challenge had been a catalyst, but the real victory lay in the way people came together to build something bigger than themselves. The story was no longer just about Musk. It was about a collective effort to make the world a better place, one small act at a time. And the fan? Well, he was just happy to be a part of it all. What started with a simple tweet had turned into a movement, and the world was taking notice.